Morning Texas.
See how an organization helps out the low-income home ownership experience in Austin.
Get a behind-the-scenes look at ACL performers.
And you'll never guess what this Austin man protects.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas. Good morning, Texas. It's Wednesday, October 17th. I'm Sean Dolan.
And I'm Jaewon Yu. Thanks for joining us on this chilly morning.
You know, Jaewon, there's something that I love about waking up early and it's less than 70 degrees out.
I don't know if I can fully relate. Even though I lived in Chicago for a little bit, Sean's actually from Chicago, so like he's really used to the cold, but I lived there for a little bit and I'm like not used to it at all still. Like when I walk out and it's cold, my skin literally just hurts. Like I am not a happy girl in the cold.
Yeah, I love just cozying up with a big sweater and a good book, just chilling at home.
That sounds really cozy, true. But speaking of homes, a nonprofit in Austin tackles housing affordability for the homeless in a creative way. Our Caitlin Carmu takes a look at how community is the key to it all.
Willie D. Bennett is a volunteer with an unusual job on 6th Street. He is one of 10 ambassadors who spent a few...
Just a short drive down Hogeye Road is where you can find Charles Allen. He lives in a tiny community of tiny homes. He moved here just over a year ago after being homeless on the streets for 8 years.
It's pretty good. You know, I'm around a lot of my friends that I've got to know, you know, since I've been out here.
Mobile Loaves and Fishes is the organization that runs this community, all for the purpose of housing Austin's homeless population. And though it's a tiny community of tiny homes, it's actually not so tiny at all.
We refer to as a mansion.
It's 27 acres to be exact, and the vision to not only provide affordable housing, but community as well.
Right now we're in front of the Community Inn.
Atchison is the organization's communication director. He says one rule of the community is
an individual is required to pay rent. And the monthly rent ranges anywhere from $220 a month up to $400 a month. That's just the price point that we feel is affordable for our friends who are coming in here, what income that they may have access to.
And all are fully furnished, ready for those who move in. And aside from just affordable housing, the nonprofit provides jobs, which is how most living here pay for their rent, like Charles Allen.
I sell craft work and do mechanic work and repair rods and reels and things like that.
There's 240 units here, but what makes each of these unique are these 3 numbers right here. And those living here can call it their home. Now, Atchis says the community is still expanding, and this is only phase 1. The community has many more homes to put in. And as for Charles, well, he's excited about the future too.
And when that building gets through, it's going to be perfect. It'll be nice.
That's right.
Caitlin Carmute, Good Morning, Texas.
You know, I think this is a really great innovative solution to the homelessness problem that we have here in Austin.
I agree. Every time I go out on Guad, I literally see at least, 3 to 4 people that are just, there. And the thing is, they're always the same people too, if you really think about it, because, we walk down Guad at least once every day as students at ET.
Right.
And that means that they're not really finding places to live. I've seen the same lady underneath this little where Shuttle is, and she's been there, I think, since I came in as a freshman, and I'm pretty sure she's been there before that too.
Yeah, I think that just, having an organization here to help could really, really help this problem in Austin.
Definitely, I'm so glad.
But speaking of being out on the street, there's a specific street that we have for our next story. It's time to say goodbye to having trouble finding a bathroom when you're out on 6th Street and even saying hello to a bathroom attendant. Our Alejandro Martinez takes a look at how Austinites will be treated like royalty while on the throne.
Willie D. Bennett is a volunteer with an unusual job on 6th Street. He is one of 10 ambassadors who spent a few hours a day monitoring the city's first temporary and free public restroom.
This restroom, from the time that I've been working here, and the time that they didn't have it, and the time that it's here now, I think it's 100% make a big difference here for the city of Austin.
His job is to clean the facility, enforce a 10-minute time limit, and track hourly usage. The Austin Downtown Public Restroom Pilot Project started after finding unsafe levels of bacteria in the city water. Project coordinators will determine the best possible locations for permanent public restrooms downtown. Its cost is $150,000.
So this idea came from watershed protection, public works, and public health, mostly due to the fact that we were seeing high volumes of bacteria in the watershed due to human waste in the public realm.
So whether you're a tourist downtown or an Austinite visiting 6th Street, this public restroom is open 24 hours. The restrooms will be tested in 6 different locations for a period of 4 weeks each. Ambassadors like Willie will be collecting data on the numbers of users and the times of the day it is most used. This data will determine the expansion of the program for the next year. Alejandra Martinez, Good Morning, Texas.
You know, Sean, I've actually never been on 6th Street, but I do feel like I'm missing out a little bit. I haven't felt that way, but like I'm starting to feel that way.
Yeah, no, I can definitely tell this could make a huge change on 6th Street. It's, you know, the lines can get so long because it's such a popular spot in downtown Austin. So, you know, if you gotta go, this could be the place to do it.
Definitely. But another really interesting thing that's happening is that the Center for Students in Recovery at UT hosted a free Sugar Skull workshop yesterday. The workshop was held to celebrate the Day of the Dead and honored the lives that have been lost to addiction. Participants decorate the skulls with vibrant ornaments and got to take their creations home with them. The program coordinator said that this event was all about bringing the community together in an atypical way.
How much time do we have?
Yeah, we're celebrating Day of the Dead here in commemoration of people who have been lost to addiction. Also in celebration of our own past lives before recovery. You know, we're honoring our community.
I've never really made a sugar skull in my life either. I feel like I haven't done a lot of things in my life, literally. What am I doing in my life? Like,
no, I definitely remember making these in my, you know, elementary school Spanish classes, and it's such a throwback to yeah, my childhood. Even up in Chicago, they were definitely a tradition there.
Are they edible, just question-wise?
I think some of them can be. I don't know about the skulls themselves, but definitely the frosting that you put on top.
Important,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And, you know, seeing this event honor those who have lost their lives to addiction will really, I think, bring attention to it in a unique way.
Yeah, for a great cause, and I'm glad about that.
Exactly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Kayla Peterman with this week's weather forecast.
And we'll be back with more Good Morning Texas. We're back with Kayla Peterman with our News and Weather Center. What's the latest in the news, Kayla?
The organizers behind the Sound on Sound Festival have released a list of rescheduled artists following the festival's cancellation October 6th. The artists that are currently rescheduled will play in various venues around Austin, including Emos, The Mohawk, Empire Control Room, and several others in November. Although not all of the artists that were originally slated to perform have been rescheduled, the organizers are working to continue scheduling the makeup dates for the remainder of 2017 and 2018. Tickets for the announced shows go on sale today at 8 a.m. Also, actress Alyssa Milano took to Twitter this week to start the hashtag campaign, #MeToo. This comes after allegations of sexual assault and abuse against film producer Harvey Weinstein. Milano tweeted, "If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write Me Too" as a reply to this tweet. This tweet has received about 59,000 replies in response. U.S. District Judge Sam Sparks also ruled Governor Abbott's removal in 2015 of a mock nativity scene was actually a violation of the First Amendment. In late 2015, the Freedom from Religion Foundation placed a mock nativity scene in the basement of the Capitol. The scene featured cutouts of the Statue of Liberty surrounded by our founding fathers looking down at the Bill of Rights in a manger. Abbott said that the scene deliberately disrespected religious beliefs of Texans. But Sparks is actually saying that the violation was it was a violation of the First Amendment. So Governor Abbott has actually not commented on this federal decision as of yet.
Thank you, Kayla.
You know, J1, I had such a crush on Alyssa Milano when she was in Charmed, and now that after she started this campaign, I have even more respect and admiration for her.
I have a lot of respect for her too, because, you know, sexual assault, if you look on, you know, it's always been a big issue, but lately on the news, you know, it's even more so. And it's always a good thing whenever people who are in special positions or, you know, on certain platforms are using that platform to bring out more awareness towards topics that are in need of light like that.
Exactly, and something else that people need to be aware of is how they're going to dress this week. So, Kayla, how's the weather looking?
Sean, today it looks like today's high will reach 82 degrees with sunny skies and a cool breeze. However, tonight we will reach a low of 59 degrees. Thursday, we'll see a partly sunny sky with a high of 82 and low of 65, with a 20% chance of rain around 8 p.m. Friday's high will be 82 and we'll see a low at 68. However, on Saturday, the high will be 83 degrees and a low is 68. If you're going out Saturday night, though, to celebrate the approaching end of midterms, you might want to bring an umbrella. We'll have a 50% chance of rain all of Saturday night and all day Sunday as well. Sunday will also have a high of 72 and a low of 56. Seems like even the weather has post-ACL blues with this rain. So stay dry, Longhorns. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Kayla Peterman.
Thanks, Kayla. Well, you know, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the rain, I'd rather have it kind of warmer and raining than like freezing and raining because, yeah, that's not fun for me.
Yeah, it's a tough combination, especially for, you know, Texans who aren't used to anything chilly. But it really reminds me of Chicago fall, minus the leaves changing color. That's one part that I really miss.
Oh yeah, you never get to really see foliage down here, like honestly.
It's, you know, green year round. Don't go anywhere. Up next, we'll be taking some behind the scenes looks at two international groups from ACL.
Stay tuned for more Good Morning Texas.
Now, this past weekend, we both had the opportunity to go to weekend 2 of Austin City Limits and talk to a few artists who were performing there.
Yeah, the first interview that we're gonna show in a little bit was Milky Chance, and where are they coming in?
They're from Germany originally, and they're currently on tour, and they performed both last week and this week of Austin City Limits. And, you know, just being able to talk to them, I got a good, you know, understanding of how they're liking Austin and the kind of the backstory of their chart topper, Stolen Dance.
So I love that song.
Let's take a look at what they had to say. All right, so we are here at ACL Weekend 2, joined by Milky Chance. How about you guys introduce yourselves?
My name is Clemens.
And my name is Philip.
Awesome. They are going on later today to perform their set. They performed last week. So are you guys excited to perform again? Are you kind of expecting it? Are you more excited? How are you feeling?
We're excited, just as last weekend. We're actually a little more, relaxed, because last time we had some issues with our gear, which wasn't here at the time, so we had to, it was kind of crazy. So now it's all pretty, it's all set and very relaxed, so we're just looking forward to it.
Awesome, awesome. So is this your first time in Austin for Austin City Limits, or have you been here before?
We've been in Austin before.
South by Southwest?
Yeah, South by Southwest.
Never ACL?
Yeah.
It's the first time?
Yeah.
So how are you liking it so far? Is it different than South by? How's the feeling compare?
Yeah,
I mean, South by is more like a showcase festival, so it's very busy, it's way more intense. This year it just feels like a very relaxed, nice being together and listening to music. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how Milky Chance formed. How did you guys come to be?
It was back in high school. So we had another band before, and when we had our exams, like when we finished high school, like the other people went abroad or went studying in different cities, and we were just stuck in our hometown and started working on songs I've written, and recorded that album, first album. Yeah.
How did you pick the name? It's a pretty unique name.
It's my fault. Yeah, I came up with the name like way earlier than the project started, and yeah.
It took you 3 years to write Stolen Dance. So what was the inspiration behind that, and how did it sort of evolve over that time?
Yeah, we would say there's a different. It was maybe two weeks of writing, like actually writing process of it. So it was more 2.5 years or even more time waiting for it. So I started writing the lyrics for the chorus 3 years ago. At that time, 3 years ago, and then 3 years later, I started working on it again. So yeah.
Is there anything we can look forward to now? What do you have planned for the future? Any new albums coming out soon or recording?
Yeah, I mean, not albums, but we definitely want to put out music soon. So we are working on that. So this is something exciting, and we're going to tour. So if you haven't seen us live, you can come see us play live in your town. And we're going to South America, what we are very excited for as well. So yeah, that's on the table right now.
Yeah, it's really exciting, really awesome. Who is the coolest artist that you've met here at ACL so far?
We haven't met anyone actually. No one? No, like meeting, like shaking hands. Yeah. Nope. No.
Well, I guess something you can look forward to.
Last weekend, I ran into Amy Shark, but we know each other from last year from touring because she supported us. She's a really cool girl. But besides that, I don't know. Did you meet anyone? No.
Thank you very much. This is Good Morning Texas, joined by Milky Chance for weekend 2. We'll see y'all later.
Another interview we did was over a Jamaican band called Raging Fire, and they performed last weekend, obviously. One thing that's really interesting about them, as we were interviewing them, we learned that they were releasing their own line of cannabis called Everlasting Kush or something like that. But I thought that was really, really interesting of them, just because they weren't releasing it out of the sake of recreational intent or use, but actually for
sort of the relationship between reggae and Jamaican music and cannabis, because there's such a relation and how that affects the creation of the music. And they talked about how a lot of musicians try to stray away from that just because of the tax on the vocal cords and things like that, but that really inspired them. So let's take a look at what they had to say about their performance at Austin City Limits.
All right, guys, we're here with Raging Fire, and they're going to be performing later at ACL today. They're from Jamaica, and we're going to be asking them a few questions. So I was always curious about your name. I'm always curious about every artist's name, honestly. How did you guys come up with the name Raging Fire? What's the meaning behind that? Who wants to talk?
Don't worry, give a piece. The name emerged from us being a backing band immediately. We used to rehearse at this guy whose name is Raging, back in Standpipe in Jamaica. So because we were rehearsing there, people used to just pass by and say, "Which band is that?" And we used to say, "Raging Band." But after doing a show now in Halfway Tree, Jamaica, the energy we had on stage, a guy came up and asked, "What's the name of the band?" And we say, "Raging Band." But he was saying, "No, man, you guys are more than raging. You're Raging Fire." Wow. And we put thought to it and just say, yeah, Raging Fire.
That's really interesting. Wow. Okay. Okay, so you guys are in a Grammy-nominated group, which is honestly really freaking incredible. So so Everlasting's the one that got the nomination, right? How was the process of creating that album? What do you think made it come up to that point, to Grammy nomination level? Wow, seriously.
Well, I think it's because of the first 2 albums that we did, that contributed to us being able to get nominated, because Like we've been doing music for a while now, and we've had 2 records before the Grammy album. So I think that experience and that growth, led us to creating music suited for our audiences and people not from our audiences also to actually, find their piece of heaven in Raging Fire. So I think Everlasting album did that, but we never won, but we got nominated and we're coming for the win. So
I see. Okay. All right. So another interesting thing that we heard was that you guys are releasing your own line of cannabis. What was the idea or story behind that also?
Yeah, well, you don't know, marijuana is life, and marijuana goes hand in hand with music, reggae music. Because at the end of the day, most reggae musicians, we don't smoke marijuana or use marijuana just because, it's like a cigarette. No, it's a sacrament. It's a sacrament. So when we smoke it, it gives us inspiration, little vibes. So it's more spiritual than just, yes, it goes with the music, and we're from Jamaica, and Jamaica is known for marijuana as well. So we met up with a few friends in Colorado who, her name is Robin. She has a record store and a marijuana dispensary in her record store. So we decided to create a strain of herb called the Everlasting Kush to match the album that got nominated for Grammy. So it's been released. It's available now in Colorado at Rock and Robin's store, College Street, Fort Collins. So you can check it out, Raging Fire. We're doing it.
That's really unique. That's awesome. All right. Okay. So another question about your music. Is there anything that you can tell your fans, anything hints or anything like that to what they can look forward to, or any albums that you're working on, any hints like that?
Raging Fire, we're always creating new music, and we're always looking forward to bring it forward to the fans, so you can definitely look out for some more uplifting soul music, conscious music, rebel music, fire music coming in hot, so yeah, definitely be on the lookout for some new music, and also be on the lookout for Raging Fire coming to a town near you, because we'll be making some more stops in US very soon, so make sure all the college students, everybody look out for Texas shows when Raging Fire coming through, alright?
We'll look forward to it. Well, this was Raging Fire, and yeah, stay tuned for more Good Morning Texas. Thanks for watching us.
Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. We're here with Sophie Jerwick from Not on My Campus.
So Sophie, tell us a bit about what your organization does.
Yeah, sure. So Not on My Campus is a grassroots student-led sexual assault prevention organization. Our main goal is to break the silence surrounding sexual assault and fight rape culture on the UT campus. So our most important part is that we're really started by students, led by students, and it's all about the student interaction in order to change culture. We feel like student-to-student interaction is what can really change the culture here, because we really understand what party culture looks like, what student interaction looks like, what sexual interaction looks like between students, and that's something that we can really access that we don't know if necessarily adults can access in the same way. And by having this peer-to-peer interaction, we can really talk to students in a way that's candid and truthful and give them the help that we feel like they really need.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
what have been some events that you guys have organized in order to, promote this organization, or to, promote awareness of this?
Yeah, sure. So the main reoccurring event that we have is our peer education program. So Not on My Campus is one of the first sexual assault prevention organizations to really infiltrate Greek life at the University of Texas. And that's important because when you're looking at the rates of sexual assault, you see that 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted. That number rises to 1 in 4 if you're looking at the Greek community specifically. And the number at UT is about 1 in 71 for men, and I've also seen statistics that go up to 1 in 17. So the peer education system chooses liaisons from each Greek chapter, sororities and fraternities, and trains them in a series of important sexual assault tools like defining consent, bystander intervention, response to sexual assault, how to talk to a survivor, and allows those peer educators to go back to their chapters and educate them on those topics so they can go into their future interactions with that knowledge. Because a lot of the issue that we see is people go into interactions, they don't ask for consent and they think that's okay. They think that the absence of a no is a yes. They see scary situations and they don't really know how to interact or handle them. But when you give students this information, those tools, we're seeing a really wonderful response, a lot of attention given to the organization, people really responding to it, yeah.
So are there, how do you promote this campaign? Is it mostly social media based, or are there posters on campus, or how do you all go about that?
So I'm actually the director of outreach, so that's my exact
Oh,
job.
Awesome.
So the peer education system, they're all a little different. So the peer education system, we go directly to the Greek chapter presidents and ask them to give us liaisons to train. In the fall, the organization started out on social media. So in 2015, there were 2 students in AKO and Phi Delta that started the organization, founded it at UT, and they literally wrote "Not on my campus" and Sharpie on their hands, took Instagram photos, and so from that, we just kickstarted this social media movement during Roundup, and everyone on campus was like in all their Roundup gear, getting ready to go out on Friday, and had "Not on my campus" written on their hand, like saying, this is a weekend where we're going out and partying, but this isn't gonna happen on our campus. So it started out via social media. It's been a really good tool for us moving forward that we still use. But as we've grown, it's become a lot more person-to-person interaction. So for example, those boards that we have out on the West Mall right now that we painted before OU were a great way for us to give tangible information to students in a direct way where they can really have it in front, we're going to them and they have it in front of their face, all that information. Or another outreach that we had is we got interested in political advocacy and testifying for sexual assault prevention bills. In the spring, we had a training event with Wendy Davis and a lot of people who are relevant in the Texas legislature working on this issue, and they came in and told us about the bills they're working on, how to testify at the legislature, et cetera. So we're kind of trying to spread out, get all over campus, even though we have our roots in the Greek community, and get students involved both personally via social media.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Is there like a specific time of the year whenever interest, I mean, of course, like awareness towards the subject should always be consistent, but is there a specific time of the year that you've noticed that this like rises or, lowers or anything like that? I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think interest is pretty consistent. I think in any organization you have a surge of interest at the beginning of the year, beginning of semesters. People saying, I'm new, I'm back on campus, I want to get involved, this is a good thing for me, and then we get some more interest there. I see interest increasing whenever we do a big volunteer project, and then there's also red zones of sexual assault, which are the 6 to 8 weeks at the beginning of the year, during OU, and during Roundup, where you see increased rates of sexual assault. So before, when we're preparing for those, you see increased interest as we need volunteers to help us get awareness out, and afterwards, if things happen, I also see a lot more interest as people have friends who have been affected.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're almost out of time, but how can our viewers get involved with the Not on My Campus campaign?
I need volunteers and peer educators from everywhere. So if you're involved in any student organization who you would like to have us train, who you would like to train yourself, email us, notonmycampustexas@gmail.com. Send it to me, send it to Sophie, and we will get you trained and prepared to help your friends.
You heard it here first. Well, Sophie, thank you for coming out, and thank you for watching Good Morning Texas. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. I'm Sean Dolan.
And I'm Jaewon Yu. Have a wonderful day and join us next week.